Hey, happy Friday to you. Today is the 17th of January, and these are the Friday Funnies, coming to you this week from beautiful Atlanta, Georgia, where everything is named after a peach and the only soft drink you can buy is Coca-Cola. At least the winter here is a little bit milder than it is in the Midwest, where it's still causing problems. Now, I don't know if the weather had much to do with the Southwest Airlines flight this week that was supposed to go from Chicago to Branson, Missouri. Instead, Flight 4013 landed 20 miles away from Branson in a small airport in Hollister, Missouri. The passengers were eventually bused to Branson and given peanuts on their trip, and the crew was suspended for taking the Southwest slogan of, "You're now free to roam about the country," way too literally. Meanwhile, out in California, Justin Bieber and his idiot friends egged his neighbor's house. Now, since it's a fancy house with a fancy exterior, the eggs did $20,000 in damage, which puts this event into the felony category. If Bieber were to be found guilty, he could go to prison where he would no doubt be the designated pretty boy. Well, there's nothing pretty about the people in this week's Friday Funnies, but they are funny nonetheless. The Winter Olympics are coming up in a few weeks from Sochi, Russia, so I took our next story from Mother Russia. Two Siberian men were celebrating Orthodox Christmas by engaging in a rousing battle of arm wrestling, just like the wise men did. The men were drinking heavily, and they made the wager that the loser of the arm wrestling battle would have to cut his own ear off. This is known as the Van Gogh wager. Anyhow, the arm wrestling battle went on for some time and eventually was declared a tie. So the men did the only honorable thing they could think of, and they both cut an ear off. Now, see, if this were to go to the Olympics, if the Olympics could broadcast this, it would send the ratings over the top. As for the earless men, they said they don't regret their actions, but they do miss listening to music in stereo. Guillermo Reyes was pulled over by police in Mexico City at a routine checkpoint looking for alcohol-impaired drivers. When they approached his car, they heard a voice coming from the back seat that said, "He's drunk! He's drunk!" Of course, that voice was coming in Spanish. But when they looked in the back seat, they didn't see another person. They found Reyes's pet parrot. And so they gave him a sobriety test. He failed and he was arrested. His parrot, however, was taken into the Witness Protection Program and will testify at his trial, provided he get a cracker. Ken Sullivan is one of 1,058 people chosen from a pool of over 200,000 to be part of a trip to Mars. The 38-year-old from Salt Lake City, Utah, hopes to make it to the final cut of 24 people who will be selected to permanently colonize Mars. Now, this is going to be a one-way trip to Mars because the gravity there would cause bone density loss and nobody could survive a return trip. But Sullivan's wife, Becky, says she won't stand in his way. Right now, she's just trying to decide if they should get divorced now or when he packs up for Mars. I think that if a trip to Mars is a one-way trip, we should start by sending congresspeople, telemarketers, and the Kardashians. Hey, that's all I have for you this week. Thanks for watching. Please pass these funnies along to your friends, and I will see you here next Friday.